So good morning, everyone. It's not working, is it?
It's working.
It's working. Good. So good morning. I guess it's already afternoon. We wake up at 6:30 in the morning. That's why. So good morning. So today I'll be talking about dreams that we met, that we need to work on dreams. I will be talking about services that you need to build in business, and third I will be talking about the risks that you need to get into to be a millionaire, just to make your dreams come true. The risks that you need to get in your journey. So I'll schedule it for 10 minutes maximum, and I'll be talking starting from dreams. So last year in 2024, I was reading a book called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Dreams, where a professor from the United States proves that it's all about your mindset. So he built a multi-billion company in real estate from the scratch, and he also experienced when he was 10. So he shows how to get what he done by changing your mindset. So then he wrote that when he was writing dreams, he did like research. He wrote his 5 dreams on the paper with an accurate data. And he did 5 goals without an accurate data, without writing on a paper. He just dreamed about it in his mind. So I read it I finished it in 1 month, and then after that book I did a research in the beginning of 2024 when I was studying the MSIL preparation, when I was studying MSIL project, which is now international campaign in Migrant. So starting from that time, we were a small workshop. We have a very small workshop in Migrant where we produce clothes and expert, and also bring the visitors from other countries. In that time, I wrote 2 dreams. Number 1 is to bring, in 2024, to bring 10,000 visitors from around the world. And I had another dream for that project. I had a dream to be shown in Chinese TV. So there is a very high project that they invite to, very complicated. And then in that project, I got that our project would be seen in Chinese TV serial. So, and then another dream I had was traveling to Istanbul myself, but I just dreamed about it. And so what happens is that in the beginning of 2024, I met with 2 investors from the United States, and we did a great contract with them. And now in the end of 2024, at MSIL, we bring in 50,000 visitors from around the world. Our workshop was in first place in the whole Central Asia on bringing the most tourists in pregnant world, while having the big corporations in Margaland that produce the clothes. And my dream on being in Chinese today, it also worked. So rather than not speaking Chinese, but they hired a translator, and then I was in Chinese today on showing how we did study from scratch. And I had another one, which was traveling to Istanbul, but didn't work at well. So because it was just dream of mine. So the first point I want to give for this part is, when you dream something, doesn't matter being a student in a kind of college or doing a project that you promised it, make it on paper. Promise yourself, make a video, or tell to your parents, write an accurate data. And interesting fact about that is, in June 15th, which is my birthday, I was counting how many visits we took to our workplace. In 15th June, we got the 10,000 visitors, which was very interesting. So when you're dreaming something, you need to show it on paper, not on your mind, on your social media or traveling. So, and then in that case, when I did a dream about traveling to Istanbul, it didn't work because it was just maybe my dream, but it didn't show on paper, on accurate data. So next thing is about segments. Doesn't matter if you have a dream. There was a person who said that sometimes we say to people that we want to be the youngest millionaire in Pakistan who is doing that type of work. And some people they laugh at us. And then this year we show up by bringing in $25,000 to the workshop and to the 50,000 visitors who's back to Trafalgar Valley. So the services that you need to build to achieve your dreams, it doesn't work if you just write any dreams on your paper and just sit in one place and hope when it will come. You have to work on your services. You have to get risks to do it. So now I'll be talking about that. So the first part is, if you dream something, write it on paper. That's the main thing. So starting from the second part of my speech is conducted to the services that we need to build. While we were building our company, while we were changing it to the international company, MSIL, we had many other companies that they were doing the same work, They had like factories, they had more than 200 staff. And with 4 people, we got the first place in Michaelan and Paganalis in Malaysia, and achieved in Chinese today. So the thing you have to work on is services, right? Service is the main thing. So I was in Tashkent and I wanted to buy a phone because I had another phone before. And I went and asked him, how much is that phone cost? And he was like, welcome. My name is, sorry about that. Can you just, he was like, what do you need? And I was like, so service is the main thing in every part. And I went to one school, he was like, I wanted to enter the school to do a kind of project. And they were like, where do you come from? So service is very important. A service building is very important in your business, in your daily life, and every part of your lives. If you don't have a service, you don't have a business. If you don't have a service, you don't have a life. So service doesn't mean all about business. Service means all about your life, when you wake up, when you sleep. So service, starting from service, most people, they do understand service is one thing. They do think that service is selling, and most people in our country, most people in other businesses that they involved to, when they heard about selling, they have 2 options. Number 1 is sell something today, like exactly today. Number 2 is just to hug them. Come, buy. That is not a selling. The art of selling, who was written by Grant Cardone, who was a multimillionaire from the United States, Sell and Be Sold. In that book, he says that the art of selling is building a long-term goal with your customer. If you want to build a great service, I can give you Amazon as an example. We have Uzbek Market. Do you know about that? It's an Uzbek version of Amazon. So if you miss your product, if you go to help service, if you write a message, they will respond in 3 minutes maximum. 3 minutes. Or they will call you, they'll leave a message to you. They learn it from Amazon. So they say that like building a service is up to your business. So in education it works different, in the social media it works different, but service also means that keeping very close yourself with your customer and understanding what they need. Not understanding that you need to sell today to buy a brand new home. So the thing is that understanding comes when you start listening to people. If you don't listen to people, you will never ever understand your customer, and in the end, you will fail. You will not make a good business. So in services that we need to work on is, we can see that, I can give you many examples. For example, Iman. He does have a course, he sells courses. And he also works, he is the founder of Big Day, it's a drink. And he always like hires great people from another countries who's training, and when they train, they put a Big Day. So they give, so service is like, in his business, service is social media, right? So you need to figure out what is your service, and then you have to understand your customer. Back to my situation, our service was understanding the customer and then creating clothes in a traditional way and selling them and exporting to the United States or to other countries, right? So the service is, in my business was trust. Trust. Because I have seen many investors from other countries and kind of used to talk to them, is they do not believe mostly in services because they think that they do one-time sell, big sell. But in our business, it was a long-term goal. So what we have done together with our team is to make it happen, to export our products. So we look at signing our clients to our long-term goals. So when they come to us, we ask, why do you need it? So they can, for example, there's some events, you buy traditional clothes for 1 day. In that time, I say to them, don't buy it. You can hire it. That'll be like 2 times cheaper, right? And but other people that work in that same business, they were like saying, you need to buy it, dude. It's like, you use it, you actually use it. That's why in every type of business you do, in every part of life you work on, the main thing is to focus on is like services. So understanding your customer and changing your plans to long term, not one term. So one term is like making a big sale and then helping other customers. So what we do is you have to look on the long-term goal, and the long-term goal will bring other clients to you. I can give you an example as Apple. Steve Jobs, genius guy. I like him a lot. So if you have used an Apple product, they work it on the service very much, very a lot. The design, and they don't focus on one big cell, they focus on large target cell. So, and in the last we have risks. So you have a dream, I want to send my parents to France. So I want to buy a joint for them, for example, right? And then you're working on that, you are doing some side hustle businesses, you're opening, let's say, Shopify store, you're doing Amazon, you're doing Etsy, you're doing, let's say, Uzbek version of Amazon, which is the market. So you dream it, you want to send your parents to France, and you're working on services. Your service in that time is doing side hustle businesses. Your service is trying to make some extra profit from something, and while studying, while doing your bachelor studies, right? So it's very hard in our age. We have a lot of exams. So you dreamed, you're working on a service, and last part is risks. Some people, they do the both, but they lose when they are doing the risks. Risk is a main part of our life. You don't have to be afraid on achieving great things. You don't have to be afraid on giving speeches very long. You don't have to be afraid on trying some new things. In 2022, teacher Azam, who is an influencer in Tashkent, launched Englify School. At that time, I didn't have my own business. I was looking to make side hustle, but I knew some stuff. So in Englify, when they launched it, they had two requirements: be older than 20, and there is an exam, IELTS, right? They wanted to have like more than 8, or 7.5 is the minimum. So they had very high requirements. But in that time, I was scrolling through Instagram and I have seen Azam's post regarding to that situation, regarding to that hiring job. So then I took my own risk, right? I was 15 at the time, by the way. I applied my own application. There were 3 plans: name your age, plus 18, plus 30, plus 40. I did like another number and I put it 15. And there was another part, IELTS, write your English knowledge and that. They were very academic words. And I did like, I don't have it yet, I said at classical. But and then there were 3 essays that I wrote it. And then eventually I was accepted, I was selected. And we collaborated with Azam for 6 months. I worked in his first speaking club department, and I moved to selling department, and then I launched my own business. So you need to get risky. Life is now like predicted. If you want to do something, if you want to make something happen in your destiny, you have to get risky, no matter what. Another one, I want to tell you that in Uzbekistan, I'm trying to work on that. We're trying to bring investors from China, especially. There is an app, if you know of Western Union. It's an old tradition of sending money from another country. Western Union is it wasn't, now they have but in the past, you went to bank, and then you put your money and then sent to another country by Western Union. It's an old tradition. In Uzbekistan, if you want to get money from another country, from Europe, from the United States, you have only one option. You know what? It's Western Union. If you cannot get money from your, rather than money from investors, if they don't do Western Union. So we have only one option, it's Western Union. And the people, they live in West and mostly developed countries, they don't use West anymore because there's documenting thing, writing square, it takes a lot of time, it takes sometimes hours. So they do prefer another apps, right? For example, we have so we have an Apple Pay, which doesn't work in Uzbekistan, which is very interesting. So the Western Union, taking that, there is I'm gonna name it now. There is an app called Wise. I think most people know about Wise. Wise is the very crazy, super crazy. They work a lot with their services. So you can send until $1 million, more than $1 million in 1 minute. Just have to get the bank credit and you can send to another country. But unfortunately, in Uzbekistan, we are not being allowed to use Wise. But we'll work on that together, and everyone is working currently. And so the Wise, what happened is that we got a very big customer from Massachusetts, and she's a weaver. She does have her own company in that. So she came to Uzbekistan, she came to Pakistan, she came to Margaland later on. And then she went to bazaar, she checked some product, and she wants to buy it all. And she met with 3-4 merchants. And they were more than $1,000 sell. But they could have done it. They couldn't work with it because she wanted to use a restaurant, she wanted to use Wise, but Wise doesn't work in Uzbekistan. She wants to use Apple Pay, but doesn't work in Uzbekistan. And but the credit card also didn't work it. That's why so 3 merchants in Cabinet Bazaar could be able to sell more than like all of their products in one day. It would be a very big sell for them, right? They could sell, so one of them could sell $2K, one of them could sell $1,300, one of them could sell, I guess, $800 it was. So what was this? They didn't pay a risk, right? So everyone is coming asking, I want to buy it, but I want to pay with credit card, but you don't have a Wise. And then they're saying that the Americans in the bazaar, what happened, the real situation, they're saying, I'm sorry, we can do that. So they lose it, right? They didn't take their risk. Later on, they come to our store. Finally, that was crazy. I was there, and they told me that I wanted to buy so much thing in bazaar. I wanted to help to craftsmanship because the e-cat is being loose. People are not doing any more digital stuff, right? It's being loose. And back in that time, she wanted to support the people who's running all businesses, e-cat, like handmade business, right? So she come to our store where I was speaking English. She was amazed. She was like, "Oh, someone I found English speakers. Yeah, come on, what's the problem?" She said me that she wanted to buy very, very lot of things, but she couldn't buy it. And she was saying that I want to buy your stuff, but I cannot because my credit is not working. And I said, okay, I will give you money. I said I could give her money. And she was like, amazing, why? How? And I said to her, so I'm understanding my customer. I'm not trying to sell my stuff. I'm understanding my customer saying that I will give you money to buy from other people while having the same product in my own store. Oh. Isn't it fascinating? Because she was like, do you have some government mistake? Can we use translator? And I was like, yeah, I mean, we can like support you to help the supporters of Uzbek citizens. And so we helped her to finish the Uzbek soon, all the merchants, all the sales. And later on, she eventually comes to our store and she said, do you also support me here? Yeah, I said, yeah, I'm gonna support it. And it's called risk. So it's 50-50. I lose money or I keep money, right? So how I lose, she never ever talks to me, or if she's loyal, she comes and then we will, I told her that she'll pay me back when she comes to the United States. I will solve the problem, how to do it. And yeah, we did a risk. She bought from us, she bought from other merchants in the bazaar, and I told her, keep it here. I'm again understanding my customer. So she does have now like 40 kilogram product. And she's, imagine like 40 kilogram product getting to Massachusetts from Margaret. And she have a businessman in Istanbul, by the way, my favorite country. I will always want that. So we are understanding again, we supported with money, now we are supporting with shipping. I told her, keep it here in my store. When you went to Massachusetts, we will talk with the agencies, they will ship to the United States. Is that how that goes? So she's buying by losing my pocket, and she's getting her product when she will be at home, which will be amazing. And then this is also another part of that work is keeping risks are very good, but you also have to focus on. You also have to like keep it on balance, you know. Like we cannot give 40 kilogram product without a payment, right? So what I'm doing is like I'm saying her product will stay here. When you go to the United States, I will ship it. But now she fell in love with our store. We supported with money, we supported with shipping, and now let me show you. This big investor, it has been almost 2 years now, and was that why I understand her, while understanding her situation, it has been like 1.5 now. and she's still in our store. You can see, we still do the same thing, still working on it, still changing exchanges, ideas, and we can see that we're still helping to each other, right? We have metrics. It's from yesterday, by the way. So it means that it's not about to make a sale today. It's about making a thing to put it in the long term. So I do apologize if I did it more than 10 minutes. It was kind of, I don't know what's happened. So in conclusion, we're talking about dreams. So we are Uzbeks, we're the best. We have to dream very a lot, like very a lot, extremely a lot. But on paper, please, not on dreams. And to your friend, and then, by the way, I have seen some dreams, hundreds of dollars, not hundreds of dollars, but yeah. Okay, next thing is services. We have to work on your services, be kind to your customers, and work very hard on your customers. If you're doing a media thing, be the best in media. Number 3 is working on your risks. Risk is the main thing, but keeping it on balance. And last thing I want to say is regarding to the marketing. I just studied marketing. I did the pre-college at Yale in finance. So right into the marketing, I want to show you one thing that. So I know there is a very big factory in Milan, and they are very financially independent, and they store. They do the same work with us, like this. And when the investors, or when the visitors, or when the locals visit their factory, there is one person meets them with very formal suits, with the hairs, with iPads. And look, you are visiting to an old traditional place. You are meeting a person who is wearing very modern. Isn't it kind of mind-blowing? Now look how the marketing works. You are visiting an old place, you are meeting a person who is wearing old clothes, like being a real Uzbek. So you have to understand, you have to identify your own services, and plus your own marketing. But you cannot wear Uzbek clothes if you're working in an education center, right? So thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm really honored to speak here. I want to thank all of you for this 15 minutes of attention, and to everyone who participated in this event as an audience, as a speaker. If the audience is now, there's no speakers. If not speakers, there's no audience. So we all want to thank you. I love you all. Thank you.